Chosen one, you are not here by accident. Heaven scheduled this moment for you. The Spirit of God has aligned your steps, your timing, and even your thoughts so that you would arrive right here, right now, at the precise second your divine rise is being activated. Chosen one, something in the invisible realm has just shifted, and whether you feel it or not, you are standing at the threshold of a supernatural financial breakthrough, a divine wealth transfer that has been forming, maturing, and waiting for the appointed time. And that time is now. Anointed One, the same God who raises the poor from the dust and seats them with princes, is moving on your behalf in this very moment. This is not random. This is not coincidence. This is divine orchestration. You have been called into this word because heaven is placing something in your hands, something bigger than opportunity, something deeper than blessing. This is alignment. This is activation. Chosen one, breathe for a moment. Feel the weight of destiny settling on you. The heavens are stirring. The atmosphere is shifting. The oil on your life is being recognized. What you're about to hear is not information. It is impartation. Prepare your spirit. Your divine rise begins now. Chosen one, before we go any further, pause for a moment and recognize the holiness of what is happening right now. You did not click on this message by coincidence. You are not here because of an algorithm or curiosity. You are here because heaven arranged this moment with precision. This is a divine interruption, a supernatural appointment, a moment written into your timeline long before you even knew you would need it. Chosen one, if you feel something stirring inside your spirit right now, an unexplainable weight, a gentle pull, a subtle trembling, don't ignore it. That is the evidence that heaven is touching the edges of your life. That is the sign that what you are hearing is not just sound, but a spiritual transmission meant specifically for you. And I need you to understand something deeply. The journey you've been walking through, especially the recent season, has not been random. The closed doors you faced, the opportunities that slipped away, the moments when you poured out in private but nobody saw, the times you served faithfully while it felt like everyone else was being elevated but you remained hidden. None of this happened by accident. I know it well because I have lived through seasons just like that. There were nights when I wondered if God had placed me on the sidelines, moments when my effort seemed invisible, when I questioned my own purpose and thought maybe I had misheard what God promised me. But every time I thought heaven had forgotten me, heaven was actually preparing me. Chosen one, the same is true for you. What looked like delay was actually construction. What felt like silence was actually strategy. What appeared to be stagnation was God building the capacity, the endurance, the spiritual weight you would need for the level you're about to step into. The truth is, you kept knocking on doors that did not open because God was not preparing you for a doorway. He was preparing you for a throne, a position of influence, spiritual authority, and divine responsibility that can only be entrusted to someone who has survived pressure, rejection, stretching, and refining. And yes, the warfare intensified around you because the enemy recognized your rise even before you did. The battles felt personal because they were. The resistance felt unnatural because it was supernatural. The enemy does not waste energy fighting someone with no destiny. He targets the chosen ones, the ones who carry oil, the ones whose elevation will disrupt darkness, the ones whose breakthrough will liberate others, the ones whose rise will shift entire atmospheres. That is you, chosen one. The very intensity of your battles has been a prophetic indicator of the magnitude of your calling. And now, whether you realize it or not, you are standing at the threshold of a divine shift. This is the moment heaven begins unveiling what was hidden. This is where delay becomes acceleration. This is where obscurity breaks and recognition begins to locate you. This is where divine timing overrides earthly limitation. This is the moment where your spirit rises before your circumstances catch up. Chosen one, your divine rise is not just coming, your divine rise has begun. And in the next part, I'm going to reveal the first dimension of that rise, the realm heaven always activates before lifting you into your next season. Once you understand this, nothing about your life, past, present, or future, will ever look the same again. Chosen one, now that your spirit is awake to what heaven has been doing beneath the surface, it's time to reveal the first dimension of your divine rise, the dimension of identity. Every elevation God releases begins here. Before heaven lifts your circumstances, heaven lifts your perception. Before God changes what is around you, He changes what is within you. And, chosen one, whether you have realized it or not, heaven has been reshaping the way you see yourself. This is the foundation of everything that comes next. You see, for so long, you have carried the weight of old labels, words spoken over you in weakness, opinions formed about you in ignorance, assumptions made about you when people failed to see your value. Some of these labels were never spoken aloud, yet they stayed in your mind. Not enough, not ready, not chosen, not worthy. These ideas were planted by disappointment, watered by delay, and reinforced by seasons where you felt invisible. But heaven says those labels were lies. And now, in this moment, your identity is being rewritten by truth. I can tell you this because I have walked through it myself. I remember seasons where I allowed temporary circumstances to define me. When doors stayed shut, I thought it meant I wasn't qualified. When people overlooked me, I assumed it meant I wasn't valuable. When progress slowed, I thought it meant something was wrong with me. But the truth was this: circumstances reveal nothing about identity. God defines identity. And when God defines someone as chosen, no season, no delay, and no person can take that identity away. Chosen one, heaven has been whispering to you, sometimes through conviction, sometimes through disruption, sometimes through unexpected restlessness, that you are not who your past says you are. You are who God says you are. And God has been preparing you to see yourself through His perspective. Because if you rise with an old identity, you'll sabotage the very place God is lifting you into. Your identity is the spiritual container of your destiny. If the container is too small, it cannot hold the level of blessing, influence, or authority heaven is releasing. That's why the pressure you've experienced lately hasn't been to crush you, it's been to break the old version of you, the limited version of you, the fearful version of you. Heaven has been stretching your identity so you can carry what's coming next. Chosen one, you may not realize this, but you are already operating from a higher identity than you were a year ago. Look at the strength you've gained. Look at the clarity you've developed. Look at how you no longer tolerate things that once drained you. Look at how you sense spiritual shifts before they happen. You are not who you used to be. Heaven has been elevating you internally, so you can handle the rise externally. And let me tell you something deeply personal. Every time God has prepared to lift me into a new season, He challenged my identity first. He confronted the areas where I saw myself as small, overlooked, or unqualified. He led me through seasons where I had to choose between believing what I felt and believing what He said. And every time I surrendered to His voice over my own insecurities, something in me rose, even before anything in my circumstances changed. That is what's happening inside you now. Your identity is ascending. Your spirit is rising. The old you is shedding. The anointed you is emerging. And this is not imagination. This is spiritual reality. You are already seated in a higher place spiritually, and heaven is preparing to manifest that elevation in the natural realm. Chosen one, your divine rise begins within. And once identity shifts, the next dimension of elevation unfolds effortlessly. In the next part, I will reveal that second dimension, the expansion of your influence, and why people who never noticed you before will suddenly recognize the oil you carry. Chosen one, now that your identity has begun to rise, heaven is preparing to unlock the second dimension of your elevation, the expansion of your influence. This is the part that many people misunderstand, because they think influence is about fame, spotlight, or recognition. But the kind of influence heaven releases is different. It is weighty. It is purposeful. It is spiritual. It is the kind of influence that shifts atmospheres, carries authority, and opens doors no human could ever orchestrate. Chosen one, heaven is enlarging your territory, not for your ego, but for your assignment. Influence in the kingdom is not about being seen, it's about being sent. And whether you realize it or not, heaven has been preparing you to become a carrier of impact. You are entering a season where what rests on your life will speak louder than your words, where your presence will carry peace, where your wisdom will carry clarity, where your faith will carry breakthrough. Influence begins long before the crowd arrives. It begins in obscurity. It begins in hidden service. It begins in the quiet moments when you choose obedience, even when nobody is watching. And you, chosen one, have been faithful in places where it felt like nothing was happening. But heaven saw it all. Heaven recorded it all. And now, heaven is about to reward what you thought no one noticed. I know this stage well because I've lived it. There was a season in my life when I served quietly, showing up early, staying late, praying for others, giving when I didn't have much, encouraging people who didn't even remember my name. It felt insignificant at the time, but years later, those same seeds produced doors I never saw coming. People sought advice. Opportunities appeared out of nowhere. Rooms opened that were far beyond my qualifications. Why? Because influence is not earned by talent, it is earned by faithfulness. Chosen one, heaven has seen your faithfulness, your consistency, your endurance, your refusal to quit. And now, like a seed breaking through the soil, your influence is about to surface. You won't have to force anything. You won't have to chase anything. What is yours will come toward you, drawn by the anointing you carry. And here's something important. Influence is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet, like the peace you bring into chaotic situations. Sometimes it is subtle, like the wisdom you speak that realigns someone's entire perspective. Sometimes it is gentle, like the compassion you extend to someone who needed a glimpse of God's heart. But no matter how it manifests, influence is undeniable. Chosen One, your rise will not just elevate you, it will elevate those connected to you. The people watching your journey, silently observing your resilience, your purity, your perseverance, will be strengthened by your breakthrough. Your transformation will become their inspiration. Your obedience will become their evidence that God still moves. You will become a living testimony of what divine elevation looks like. And as heaven expands your influence, something else will begin to happen. People who once overlooked you will begin to seek you. Individuals who dismissed your value will suddenly recognize your worth. Doors that were locked tight will open with ease, and opportunities you didn't even know existed will begin to present themselves, not because you forced them, but because God ordained them. Chosen One, your influence is not coming, it is here. It has already begun. The shift you feel inside is the first ripple of the impact that will follow you. You are being positioned to carry solutions, to bring healing, to release wisdom, to shift atmospheres simply by showing up. This is divine influence, influence birthed by heaven, not manufactured by man. And once heaven expands your influence, there is one more dimension of elevation that begins to unfold, the rise of your authority, a level most believers never fully access. A dimension where your words carry weight, your prayers carry power, and your presence carries spiritual jurisdiction. In the next part, I will reveal this third dimension, the realm of authority, and why the enemy fought you so hard to keep you from stepping into it. Chosen One, now we step into the third and most powerful dimension of your elevation, the rise of your authority. This is the realm that separates those who simply believe from those who carry spiritual jurisdiction. This is where heaven entrusts you with power, where your words become weapons, and where the enemy no longer sees you as a threat he can casually disturb, but as a force he must respect. And Chosen One, this is exactly the dimension the enemy has been trying to keep you out of. Authority is not something you earn through status, titles, or outward success. Authority is forged in the spiritual battles you survived. Authority is birthed in the nights you cried but still prayed. Authority is carved into you when you kept going despite feeling empty. Authority is recognized in heaven long before it is manifested on earth. And you, Chosen One, have been growing in authority without even realizing it. I know this stage intimately. There was a time when I felt powerless, like everything around me had more influence over my life than I had over it. Fear influenced me, circumstances influenced me, people's opinions influenced me. But through every battle, through every setback, through every season of pressure, something was forming inside me. A resolve, a boldness, a sharpening of spiritual sensitivity. And one day, without fanfare or ceremony, I realized I wasn't reacting to life anymore. I was commanding it. I stopped praying like a beggar and started praying like a son. I stopped speaking like someone hoping God might move and started speaking like someone who knew heaven was backing every word. Chosen One, that's what's happening in you. Heaven has been upgrading your voice. Your prayers carry more weight than you know. Your declarations shift more than you can see. Your presence unsettles darkness, not because of your personality, but because of the authority your spirit carries. The enemy sees the mantle on your life, even when you don't. That's why he fought your confidence. That's why he attacked your identity. That's why he tried to isolate you, confuse you, and break you. Because if you ever realized who you really are, who you are in the Spirit, everything around you would begin to change. Authority is not loud. Authority is rooted. It is the quiet confidence of someone who knows heaven stands behind them. It is the unshakable peace of someone who recognizes their spiritual rank. And chosen one, you are rising into your rank now. You are stepping into a level where you don't just pray for breakthrough, you command breakthrough. You don't just hope for protection, you invoke it. You don't just fight battles, you win them before they begin, because your authority shifts the field. This is why your atmosphere has been changing, why your discernment has been sharper, why you feel a pull to pray more, to separate more, to surrender more. Heaven is refining your authority so that when you speak, your words carry divine precision. When you decree, your voice echoes in the spirit realm. When you rebuke adversity, it bows. When you speak life, things begin to move. Chosen one, you are not stepping into ordinary authority. You are stepping into kingdom authority, the kind that breaks generational patterns, uproots spiritual resistance, and releases divine acceleration. You are being positioned to shift not only your life, but the lives of people connected to you. This authority will protect your rise, sustain your breakthrough, and silence every voice that once tried to define you. And now that your identity has been elevated, your influence has expanded, and your authority has awakened, heaven is preparing to release something even more profound, the season of manifestation. The moment where everything hidden becomes visible, the moment where spiritual elevation becomes natural elevation, the moment where divine timing meets divine action. In the next part, I will reveal how heaven releases sudden elevation, supernatural opportunity, and divine promotion, and how you can align yourself to receive it without delay. Chosen one, now that your identity has risen, your influence has expanded, and your authority has awakened, heaven is preparing to usher you into the final dimension, the manifestation of your divine elevation. This is the season where what was promised becomes visible, what was spoken becomes tangible, and what was stirring in the unseen realm begins to break into the natural world with undeniable force. This is the moment where alignment meets acceleration. This is where the rise begins to show. Chosen one, divine elevation doesn't appear gradually. It appears suddenly, swiftly, unexpectedly. It breaks forth like dawn, quiet for a moment, then unstoppable. You've been sensing this shift inside you because heaven has already started the process. The spiritual groundwork is complete, and now the outward unfolding begins. And hear me, nothing about your rise will be ordinary. Nothing about the opportunities coming will be predictable. Nothing about the connections forming will be explainable through logic. This next season of your life will carry the signature of God, supernatural timing, supernatural strategy, supernatural alignment, the kind of elevation you couldn't create, force, manipulate, or manufacture, even if you tried. I know this stage personally. There were moments in my life when everything seemed still, quiet, uneventful, unchanged. And then suddenly, in a single moment, heaven breathed on something. An opportunity I never knew existed found me. A door I never knocked on swung open. A connection I didn't seek appeared out of nowhere. What I had prayed for in silence manifested loudly, not because of my effort, but because of my preparation, not because I chased it, but because I was aligned for it. This is exactly how God moves when elevation reaches its moment. Chosen one, heaven has been aligning the right people, conversations, platforms, and pathways for you. You may not have seen the movement, but it has been happening behind the scenes. Every delay was divine timing. Every closed door was divine protection. Every disappointment was divine redirection. And now, everything is converging. Everything is aligning. Everything is preparing to open. But with this manifestation comes responsibility. Heaven does not elevate you for your comfort. Heaven elevates you for your calling. This rise is not just about blessing, it's about stewardship. It's about managing what God gives you with wisdom, humility, and excellence. Because elevation without character collapses. But you, chosen one, have been refined. You have been shaped. You have been purified in the quiet places so that you can be trusted in the visible places. This is why heaven is giving you practical instructions in this season, not suggestions, instructions. Steps that prepare your mind, your spirit, and your life to carry the weight of what's coming. You are being called to consecrate your identity, so no old label can follow you into your new season. You are being called to audit your heart, so pride and presumption have no open door. You are being called to obey immediately, so nothing delays your timing. You are being called to serve with excellence, so heaven can elevate you with confidence. You are being called to declare life, so your words align with your destiny. You are being called to guard your atmosphere, so no distraction corrupts your rise. You are being called to study truth, so your thinking elevates with your spirit. You are being called to fast and seek clarity, so heaven can download divine strategy. You are being called to release forgiveness, so nothing spiritual blocks your ascent. You are being called to prepare, mentally, spiritually, practically, for the platforms you will soon stand on. Chosen one, this is your activation season. Heaven is not waiting. Heaven is moving. And as you respond, as you align, as you obey, as you surrender, the manifestation will accelerate. You will see sudden opportunities, unexpected breakthroughs, divine connections, all orchestrated by God Himself. Your rise is not future tense. Your rise is now. And the moment you agree with heaven, everything around you will begin to shift. Chosen one, step forward, step boldly, step humbly. Because this is the beginning of your divine elevation, and nothing can stop what God has begun in your life. Chosen one, if this word stirred your spirit, receive it as heaven's confirmation that your moment has arrived. A divine transfer is already in motion, and you are standing inside your appointed time. What God has spoken over you will manifest, and nothing can hinder the rise He has begun. If you feel this truth, type, "My rise begins now," to seal it in faith. And if this message blessed you, stay connected. We are moving higher together. Share this word with someone who needs breakthrough, someone waiting for a sign that God has not forgotten them. Until next time, walk in authority, walk in alignment, and remember, chosen one, God said your divine rise begins now.